It is Tuesday, the 7th of July, 2015. Well, I guess at this point I've been out for about 4 months. As you can see, I'm dressing differently, got my hair different. It's trying to generally pass, and for those of you who don't know, passing just means trying to look like the opposite gender of what you are assigned. But that's, anyway, neither here nor there. So I have here a list of questions that I'd try to answer for everybody. And for anyone, all of these are pretty much anonymous or just general questions. So let's just start with number 1. How has your transition been since making your first video? Easier or harder than you imagined it'd be? I have to say that my transition has been pretty good so far. I found a counselor, I've been wearing all my guy clothes, it's been pretty good, and recently I just found a doctor to help me get onto testosterone, so I think that will help a lot more, actually. As far as easiness goes, I had imagined it would be way harder, but thankfully I've got the support and backing of a lot of friends and family, so that helps me out a lot. Like, way much. Way. Question, aren't you scared that you won't be the same person? I mean, as you get older, you're never going to be the same person anyway. So, I mean, you're not the same person you were when you were 5 and starting kindergarten, so why would I be the same person before the transition and after? I mean, in all things considered, I'll still be the same person who loves to go bowling. I love crafting. I love all this shit. Sorry, pardon my language, but it's really not going to affect me insofar as I'm just going to get totally raged out all the time. It's just not happening. Have you gotten or are you getting the surgery? So just for future reference, you never want to ask anyone who is trans, maybe besides me, that question about surgery, because actually a lot of trans folk don't ever opt for the surgery. In fact, a lot of them don't even opt for the hormones because they have some underlying medical condition which would force them to get extremely sick if they were to do the hormones. But as far as I'm concerned, I have decided that I will go for one of the surgeries. There are multiple. I would like eventually to get the double mastectomy and chest reconstruction. That is after I've already started testosterone and been on it for, at least a little while. Just from what I've read, it's good to be on it for a little bit, just so you can build up muscle mass, you lose the body fat, and your body will generally heal faster if you've been on it for a while. Then as far as bottom surgery, I don't want to... Gay or straight? Well, let's just put me in the pansexual category so I don't have to worry about that, because we have another question here. Okay, because I like guys, so why not just stay a chick and be straight? That's a very good question. For me, I feel that your sexual orientation has absolutely nothing to do with your gender identity and expression. So, I mean, that's why we can have lesbians and gay people and straight people and all kinds of other people. So, me being trans has absolutely nothing to do, with who I like, who I want to sleep with, who I'll make friends with. Nothing. Do you like being a woman? That is a very difficult question, because I just never felt like a woman. It all just kind of felt like, theater, where you get in costumes and you just kind of act out what they tell you to act out. So it's not that I didn't like being a woman, it's just that I had to always pretend to be a woman. And I know that can be hard to understand, that I've been having to deal with me being at ends with myself for, my whole life. What's the difference between transgender and transsexual? That's another good question. Google can help you with that, but I'll answer it as best I can. So transgender is someone who has chosen to live as the gender opposite as the one that they were assigned at birth. So me choosing to live my life as a man, for example. And a transsexual is a transgendered person who has taken the medical step to become the other gender. So I hope that helps. Make you a transvestite? I am not a transvestite. If I was a transvestite, I would either be a drag king or something along those lines. Someone who dresses up in the other gender's clothes for whatever appeal that it has to them. For me, it's just more comfortable. This is my identity. This is me. Hope that makes sense. So pretty. It's gonna be a shame to see your boobs go away. No, see, says it right there. Boobs. That's probably backwards, but yeah, well, it's not really a question, is it? And they're my boobs, so I'll do what I want with them. What pronouns do we give to transgender people? The fun part. Okay, so say you have a transgender friend. Hi. What pronouns should you call them? Whatever the hell they want to be called. Me, personally, I prefer the male pronouns, so he, him, all of those, or my name. A lot of other trans people prefer they or them. I mean, it's really up to them. So ask them. Gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria is basically the scientific medical term for transgender. It means, well, you can Google it. I already basically said it. Next! Equipment! What equipment do you have to have in order to do this transgender thing? Well, personally, I use a binder. So what that does is it takes my kind of abnormally large boobs, for abnormally large for a guy, and flattens them down and makes a more male profile. And as far as the downstairs, I have this really great thing called a packer penis, which looks basically just like a penis, and you put it in your pants, and it packs it, and it looks... Woo! That's my dick, everybody. That's my dick. Ooh, hold on. Sorry, everyone. Got a little too excited and dropped my dick all over the place. Alright, next question. Aren't you worried about being ostracized? I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, whatever makes you different, is sure to get you ostracized by some person or another, but the biggest deal is that my friends still accept me, and so I don't really have to be afraid of getting kicked out of anywhere. And honestly, as far as female to male goes, generally the only marker that you'd be able to pick us out would be that we're short, and there are a lot of short guys out there. So we blend in, and so I'm not really all that worried about getting picked out of the crowd, and I plan to be an advocate and, really going out of my way to answer your guys' questions. So, how does sex work if you're only going to get your boobs chopped off? Just curious. As far as sex goes, that's, well, obviously personal. That shouldn't even be a question, but I don't know. Whoever wants to get with me just has to find out, and just like normal people, you just kind of play it by ear. So hopefully I'll find someone open-minded and we won't ever have to really worry about that. So a little bit more in depth as to what a binder is. So under my shirt I have this, I'm not going to flash the camera. I have this sweet tank top that has multiple layers of fabric that kind of tie everything down. And as you can see, I've got a flatter profile. It's still not where I'd like it to be, obviously it still looks like I have boobs. but it helps a lot with my body image out in public, so that's really the more important part. That's it for today, but if you have any more questions for me, just either leave them below or send me a private message, and I'll do my best to answer them as best as I can. Like I said, I'm here as an advocate and really just here for your education, and peace, love, happiness, all that good stuff. You guys have a great day.